Alright, it's the last card in the suit of swords. It is the Ten of Swords. This card always has a graphic image, generally, of a man lying on the ground with all the swords in his back because he's been stabbed to death. So this card, of course, does not represent death. Let's be clear about that. It is a metaphorical representation of a really bad end. So when you see this card, I want you to think, okay, bad ending, something didn't end well, right? So that's what this means. So it represents a failure, it represents a loss, it represents something that was really painful, right? It represents something that was hard to deal with, especially mentally with all the swords, right? Maybe it was like this mental anguish that just took forever, and then it was just like really hard to let go and hard to move on. So if this card does come up in a reading, it usually frightens people. The one thing that you can read from this card is that it's got to go up from here, right? Like, it's not going to get any worse. So whatever has happened has just happened, and really it's only going to get better from here, right? Whatever the difficult ending was, it's done, and now things are going to get better. They're going to start looking up, so to speak. So the Archangel Tarot card, Ten of Michael. The situation has ended and you're finally free. New opportunities for happiness will follow. Put the past behind you. Right? This is a much prettier archetype of that card, not showing all the death and destruction. The Nine of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights, and we have all these unicorns sleeping in the grass. And then the Fairy Tarot is Ten of Winter, the resolution of difficulties, a weight lifted off your shoulders, the end of an addiction or codependency. So when I move into this Ten of Swords reversed, the first thing that comes to my mind is near miss, right? So let's pretend that this guy was in battle, but instead of getting all the swords in his back, instead it was a near miss. Somebody almost stabbed him, but they missed, and he ran away and he ended up surviving for another day. So if that were to have happened in this card, then our character in the card would be seriously reevaluating his life, right? I don't know about you, but if I almost died in battle, I would be thinking about my life, the meaning of my life, what I'm going to do next, what I'm going to do in my future, right? Like, I'd really be considering things on a really deep level that wouldn't have occurred if I hadn't had the near miss in the battle, okay? So that is the first way that I interpret this card. The second way that I interpret this card is there is some sort of end and they thought they'd moved on, but it's really still floating around in the subconscious. So if something happened like a really long time ago, they don't want to deal with it, and it's just kind of like creating a muck back there, and it's not being dealt with. And this person would really do well to forgive and move on, right? Forgive all the other warriors that put all the swords in his back. Right? You could do the, what is it? Ho'oponopono? I don't think I'm saying that right. It's the I love you, I'm sorry, I forgive you forgiveness thing. I'll have to put it in the show notes. But it's like, okay, forgive them unconditionally, let go, and move on so that you really can have like a clean ending that doesn't like feel bad and it isn't tainted with like the guilt and the failure and the grief and all of that, right? So it's really about, you know, clean break. Move on. It's okay.